Hi, welcome back. This is James again, and we're going to be going over part 13 of What If Deku Was Born with a Hybrid Quirk. So, where we last left off was the sports festival award ceremony, and one moment, I'm not sure if I did. All right, yes. So we had just ended with the award ceremony. And after everything, like what All Might had said to Todoroki, like combined with what Izuku said, and like how he sees Izuku like really trying to like become a hero, and how much effort Izuku put into his training and everything, on top of what All Might said, that like use the experiences that you've learned of today and apply them to your life. That every hero, like some heroes, have a tragic past, but they're not defined by that past. Instead, they use that past as fuel to say never again. And it does not kind of shock Todoroki, and then also with All Might saying that if you use the experiences today to become and bounce back from them, I have no doubt that someday you'll become a better hero than I ever was. And so we skip to the next day, and Izuku's kind, like they, if I remember correctly, like they had a few days off after the sports fest, like I think a week off after the sports festival to kind of recuperate from like their injuries and stuff like that. And or no, they had a couple of days to off. We'll say like they had like 3 days off to kind of like recuperate a little bit and everything. And so during like the next day, after the sports festival, there's a knock at the door. And Katsuri was like, "I'll get it," because because Izuku and Katsuki, after the sports festival, like when the media was trying to like talk to them and everything, like Izuku just jumps off, and Katsuki kind of looks at Momo, Kendo, and Araka, and he kind of says, "Yeah, we kind of have to go do a thing, so we'll see you guys tomorrow." And they're like, "Fine, whatever, just make sure he's okay," because it seemed like he was crying and everything. And Katsuki's like, "Yeah, like I've only seen him like this once before, so I I I I'll deal with it. Like I'll see what's going on with him." And so at that point, like Katsuki like flew off. Well, that afternoon, Katsuki and Izuku was true to his word that after the sports festival, like they'll leave town to like go off and like have their match, because quite frankly, like they would have been like in the finals like by themselves, because they have as much training as a lot of the third years at this point in their lives. One moment. So during, so like they're going at it and everything, and then Katsuki like powers up his mutated one for all, which increases the power of his explosions and allows him to like make them like smaller but more powerful. So he just basically uses it, and it also allows him to somewhat start producing explosions from different parts of his bodies, not just his hands and his feet. But he can only like do this like a little, like in short bursts and everything. So like he powers up an explosion behind his elbow and just like decks Deku like really hard, like Izuku really hard in the gut. It like kind of like wincing, and Katsuki's like, "Yo, man, like we didn't have to do this as soon as possible, like right afterwards, especially after what happened. Like, man, like I'm sorry for like gut punching you, but someone's got to like knock some sense back into you." And it seems like I'm the only one that can really do that to you, man. And so at this point, Izuku kind of like starts breaking down, like crying, and Katsuki kind of like walks over to him and sits down, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like I get it, like I understand you haven't really talked about Auntie Ingo and Uncle Hasashi in a while, and like what you did today, like talking about him and like coming out." And Izuku's like, "Yeah, like I miss my mother, like I really do, like, and I don't want like mom to be upset, and it's just now people are gonna like start treating me differently and stuff like that." And Katsuki kind of like just like kind of like punches him in the shoulder, and Izuku's like, "What was that for?" And he's like, "Dude, do you honestly think our friends are going to like treat you any differently? Like, especially like those two women, do you think they honestly would treat you any differently because of like how things are?" And Izuku's like, "Well, oh, you," he's like, "God, I've been such an idiot." And he's like, "Yes, you have." And well, like, how do you like? You remember how like Glass found like reacted when they found out that Ida's older brother was Indinium and everything? And that like Izuku is, he gets like a look of concern on his face, and then Katsuki's like, "Wait, I know that look. What's wrong?" He's like, "I don't know." Like, and through tears, because tears are still coming out of his face, but he's not like bawling his eyes out anymore. He's like, "I don't know. It's just like when I saw Ida, like he seemed upset about something, and like I don't know what's going on with him. Like he seems a little upset about something." And then Katsuki kind of like grabs Izuku's head and like gives him a knuckle sandwich. He's like, "Dude, see, this is why people like you, man. Like, no matter what's going on with you personally, you're always thinking about other people's well-being. Kind of like Auntie Inko. Like you two, you're so much like her. Like now that I think about it, it kind of makes like Izuku like cry a little bit more." And Katsuki's like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like do that." Like, and Izuku kind of like lifts up and he's smiling, and like Izuku's like, It's fine, Kachan. It's just, it's like a weight has been kind of like lifted off my shoulder. At the same time, like I'm still upset because I really do miss her, you know." And Katsuki's like, "Well, why, like, I'll call mom, like, why don't you just go to the beach and like practice, like work out there like this afternoon, and I'll speak to mom, don't worry about it, and you'll be able to like come home later, like past curfew. Like I'll get mom to agree with it. You just head there, man, and like just go speak with her and get stuff off your chest. And so, like, and Izuku is like, well, can you kind of give me a ride, because that gut punch really did hurt. I wasn't prepared for it. And Katsuki, like, kind of punches him on the shoulder. He's like, sure, man. Like, I'll drop you off, then I'll head home. So, like, Katsuki drops him off at the beach, and Izuku's, like, sitting there. And when he gets home, like, Mitsu's like, where have you two been? When, like, he walks through the door, and he's like, your friends have been calling us all day. Like, you guys aren't picking up your cell phones. And then Katsuki looks at his phone, and he's like, oh, shoot. Oh, crap. And he's like, I'm sorry, Mom. It's just, you know, Izuku, like, things just kind of blew up today with Izuku, and we kind of, like, went out of town to, like, blow off some steam. And she's like, you went out of town? How many times do I have to tell you guys? If you're going to do something like this, you've got to let me know where you are. Speaking of which, where's Izuku? And Katsuki's like, Mom, calm down. Like, he's at the beach at Auntie Inko's, like, statue. And, like, at this point, like, Mitsuki, like, is calmed down and everything. And Katsuri, like, weirdly, like, comes to the door, and she's like, Mommy, Bobby, is Bobby Izu-chan okay? Is Bobby Izu-chan okay? Like, what's going on? And Katsuki kind of, like, walks over to her and picks her up and, like, puts his hand, like, next to her ears, like, just, like, a family thing, and tells her, like, he's fine. He just needs some time by himself to, like, for a couple hours. And so we cut to Izuku. He's sitting at the statue and everything, and he's like, Mom, I'm sorry. Like, I wish you were here. Like, I really miss you, like, and everything. And so he's basically just talking and letting out all of his frustrations to the statue of his mom that he has on the beach. And if you remember in the last parts, I said they basically embalmed Inko's ashes into, like, the statue's base. So it's basically her grave, technically speaking. So Izuku is just sitting there talking and everything, and then he smells something. I'm familiar. Like, he smells two very familiar scents. And, like, he's looking around, and then, like, he sees them. And Izuku's like, how do you guys know I was here? And they both pull out their phones and put them in his face. It's like, Katsuki's like sent us a text saying that you would probably be here. Because, like, we both texted him trying to figure out, like, what's going on with you two. Because you guys just kind of, like, just took off after the sports festival and didn't really speak to anyone. And we've been worried about you, you knucklehead. And says Kendo. And Momo's like, yeah, like, you worried us about this. Like, you were crying, and then, like, the commencement speech and everything. Like, what's going on, Izuku? And then Izuku kind of, like, goes over it, like what had been going through his mind and everything, and he's like, I don't know. It's just like all day today, like after the commencement ceremony, just feels like something inside of me kind of changed, and like I feel weird, and I don't know what to do anymore. Like I still want to be a hero. I still want to like be a protector. I want to be a guardian. Like my mom, like I think, like my mom always said, like she always called me her little guardian, and I never like understood it and understood that until today. Like it and then the thing with Todoroki in the finals kind of like really got to me, and I don't know. I needed to get away and like think. And both Kendo and Momo kind of like walk up to Izuku and like get and like hug him, and it's like it's fine. Like we'll be here. We'll like always be here for you. And Izuku's like thanks. Like I I really needed this. And I'm sorry about the whole situation between the three of us. I don't know what to do with this. And Izuku is telling him this, and then Momo kind of looks at Kendo, and Kendo looks at Momo, and like they're like, yeah, like, and so Momo's like, why don't you just take us out on a date tomorrow? And Izuku's like, what? And it's like, yeah, like obviously you're going through some things, and maybe we can just spend the day with each other and just hang out, like go on a date, like go to like the park or something, or maybe like go and do like a martial arts class with like Kendo's dad, maybe, because it's probably been a long time since you've like done that. And Izuku like kind of wipes the tears from his eyes and is like, yeah, like I would like that. I really would. And so we skip to a couple of hours. Like Momo and Kendo have like headed home, and Izuku's like just walking home. He's not taking a train and stuff. And then he smells like the scent of that mysterious woman again, and like he jumps up to a rooftop to find like another letter, and she's like, I warned you not to like do that, but I guess the cat's out of the bag now. He will definitely be coming for you now, and you need to step it up and get a control over your quirk, young one. It says at the end, and this is like confusing Izuku, and he's like, he's like, man, I don't understand this one. Why doesn't she just tell me what's going on? Like, why do I always feel weird? And at this point, he's like, God, today's just been so weird. Like twice in a day she leaves these mysterious letters, and now she's warning me that someone's coming after me. And Izuku is just thinking, I was like, God, I hope it's nothing too serious, and I'm gonna have to like speak to All Might about this. And because All Might's kind of like really become like a very important person to Izuku, maybe more so than in canon, because it's happened once before where like he's heard All Might's thought, and they kind of reciprocated, and they've done it like only once, and like All Might doesn't realize like what had happened, because he just thought Izuku said something to him, but Izuku wasn't because Izuku basically like spoke to All Might through like the connection with the vestiges. So that's going to be coming into play like today. So like that night, like he has this weird dream, and there's this group of 8 people in this alleyway, or um well how dreams and stuff work. Like Izuku's at the beach, and then he just sees these 8 figures off in the distance getting closer, and he notices one of them kind of looks like Small Mind, but like it's blurred out, like it kind of looks like a blurry ghost, and the other vestiges look more corporeal than him, and he's just looking at these people, and he's like, "Who are you?" And Nana Shimura kind of like walks up to him with a big smile and becomes like completely corporeal, and she's like, "Well, young man, you." It seems young Toshinori, young Toshi, like has passed on one for all. And at this, like, Izuku's like, "You can't be saying that." And Nana kind of like knocks him on the head and is like, "Idiot, we're inside your head. Like, no one's around. We can scream as loud, like, I can scream as loud as I want, and nobody would hear me." And Izuku was like, so why is that one, like, not corporeal, or is, like, incorporeal and, like, blurry? And she's like, "Well, that's because he's still alive." And Nana's like kind of explains how one for all, after once you've carried it for so long, it can, like, it basically absorbs some of your consciousness, and it fuses with your quirks. And she's like, "Well, because of the nature of your own quirk, like, that happened a lot sooner than it normally does. And when that happens, like, if you remember, like, today, during, like, that sports festival thingy, or whatever it is, whatever they call it nowadays, how, like, you broke your arm when that kid took over your mind, and then you saw, like, these 8 things. Well, we call ourselves the vestiges of All for One, and one day we call ourselves the vestiges of One for All, and one day you'll join our ranks here when you pass on that quirk to someone else." And so Izuku's like, not he's kind of freaked out about this, and this is all happening in his dreamscape. And so Nana, like, tells him, we don't have that much time, because you're going to be waking up soon. And at this point, like, Izuku feels like a large pressure on his chest, and he's woken up in the morning, with Katsuri basically jumping on her bed, like, Izuku, get up, breakfast time. And, like, she kind of just, like, grabs him and, like, holds him. He's like, "And it'll be okay, Bobby. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'll always be here for you." And Izuku kind of like looks down at her and like just kind of like gives her a smile of like reassurance. And he's like, in the back of his mind, like he gets up and he tells her, "It's like, so is the bath like ran or not?" And like, cause Izuku still like literally just woke up, and he like in the back of his mind, he's like, "I've got to speak to All Might like later on today, but first I've got to get up and get ready because." And he looks at his watch. He's like, "Oh my God, they'll be here like any minute." So like he quickly rushes like to get showered and ready, and he just throws on like some normal clothing for him, which is his like basically like wear like this or like wear like this. Like he puts on like a shirt like this and then grabs his gloves. And he packs like his workout clothes like this because they did have plans to like maybe go to a martial arts class at Kendo's dad's dojo and everything. And so like he comes down for breakfast and everything, and at this point like there's a ring at the doorbell rings, and Katsuri is like, I'll get it. So she goes to the door and she opens it, and she's like, Yakurozu-san, Kendo-san, welcome to our place. What brings you here today? And they're like, well, like, we kind of have plans with your brother. And she's like, really? Like, kind of pouting and everything. And kind of like, don't worry, we're not going to take him away from you. He's still going to be your brother. So, no, it's not like, because she's kind of attached to her siblings. Like, they have really close relationships in this. And so we're coming up on 28 minutes with this recording. I can still go on. And I will make a part 14, which will cover their date and the conversation that he has with All Might. So with that, during the recording of like this, the first time I hit 50 subs, and like I listened to it and I didn't really like it, so like I just kind of like I redid this video and like really refined it, and like I apologize about spilling the water, so I'm having to like rewrite the script for part 14 and 15. So I'll try to get those out as soon as possible. Like I said, I kind of like when I go into work tonight, I have to pull a double, and then I have 8 hours into and in between that shift and the next shift. So I really won't have like much time to like sit down and record them. So I'm gonna try before I have to leave for work to like get these 2 videos recorded and at least scripted. That way, if stuff is slow and I can't get them recorded before I leave, I can at least get them out to at least the part 14 today, and then maybe part 15, which will cover the internships. Sorry about that. So with that being said, thank you for the 50 subs. Comment, subscribe, and like the video, because it does give me motivation to keep doing this. And I have decided, I had a few ideas of starting a what if. One of them is one of the what ifs is, what if Deku was a quarter Ellen from the Marvel universe, or what if Deku had a metagene? So, if depending on, like, please comment if you want Izuku to be a quarter alien or have a metagene instead of a quirk. And I will like work on that, and I will put it out as soon as I can, like at least part 1. And if it does well, I will continue doing that series plus this one until the season 4. So with that, thank you for all the subs and everything again, and have a nice day.